The next people that are going to be speaking is a person that you have already met, Daniela, and her husband, Paul. They are going to be telling their stories together. Daniela immigrated to the States out of love for this man that brought her all the way up north. She has been here for 2 years and 3 months. Her favorite food is pastel de choclo, ceviche, and alfajores. Probably not all mixed together. But Paul and Danny, can you come up?
So we're at the Miami airport, and we're really excited because we're coming to the US. And I had been in Chile for a whole year. And I'd been telling my family about this amazing woman that I'd fallen in love with. And they were really excited to meet her. Yeah, that's right. Spoiler alert. So, the process of being at the airport, we have to go through customs, and it's kind of the last leg in our journey. And so I go through the line that's for US citizens, and it's pretty quick and easy. They just sort of stamp my passport and say, hey, welcome back. And Daniela goes through the line that's for everyone else. And so I go through the other side, and I just grab our luggage, and I'm waiting. And I'm sitting there waiting for Daniela to make it through customs.
So there I was, trying to put myself together at 5, 6 in the morning, when your second language became your third or fourth language without coffee, and really, really nervous. So finally, I was there in front of the officer with the hope that she's going to speak in Spanish, because we kind of look similar. But she did not. And even she didn't say hola or something. She was just, your name, last name, where you from, what you're doing here, what you were doing there, where you going. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know how to say Chattanooga. So I was like, I'm going to Tennessee, over there. And she was like, how are you getting there? With who? Who is taking to you? Finally, we got in this moment that I was the last person at customs. Like 300 people just was gone. And I was like, something is going wrong. I couldn't answer a question. So I was there.
So meanwhile, I'm sitting on all of our luggage, just waiting, kind of excited, like, all right, we're doing this. It's all going to finally happen. And then all these people come through, and they come through, and then I realize, like, oh my gosh, something terrible has happened. Something's totally wrong. And I'm sitting there while Daniela's getting interrogated with all these questions. I have all these questions arise in my mind, like, well, where's Daniela? What have they done with Daniela? Are they sending Daniela back to Chile? Do I have to go back to Chile? Is Daniela going to meet, my family? Like, is my family going to believe that I actually fell in love with Chile? Or are they just going to think I made this whole thing up? So finally, I hear my voice over the speaker. And, you'd think this maybe would be a relief, but I was actually quite terrified. I was like, oh no, this is just confirming all these horrible thoughts that I've been having. But I call some security person. They say, hey, Daniela needs some information. I give them like an address and a phone number of where we're going to be staying, something obscure like that. And then I wait.
So I got the answer that I was looking for. So I ran into the officer, say like, here's what you want. And she started, asking me more questions. But in a moment, I felt the beautiful sound of the stamp. She stamped my passport, and I was like, I'm officially here. And at that moment, I love Will Smith, welcome to Miami. I was like, I made it.
So yeah, I see Daniela come through customs, and it's this huge relief, and we're hugging, and we're almost crying. It's really emotional. We didn't realize it then, but it was the beginning of our lives together here in the United States. And there were many questions that came up that day for both of us. But it was only the beginning of the questions about for each of us and for us being together here in the US. There are a lot of questions that came after as well.
Yeah, I had to answer, and I have to answer a few questions normally. Kind of like the common question is, where are you from? But with that suspicious voice looking at you in your eyes, where are you from? And let me put you in context. Sometimes I've been in a room full of people, and I saw one woman walking to me, and even she didn't ask my name, and she asked me, where are you from? And I was like, really serious? From the bottom of my heart, I want to respond back, where are you from? But I didn't say that. Instead of that, I just smiled and say, I'm from Chile. And then sometimes after that question, I had another question, where is that? And I have different answers for that question, depending on my mood. Sometimes I say, like close to Mexico, and sometimes, sometimes I just say far away from Mexico. But the real thing, I'm the real southerner here. My country is next to Antarctica, so I'm the southerner. Sometimes I have the question, do you use phone in your country? Yes, we use. Sometimes like, how do you wear there? How, your clothes? Just say like, like this. We are not naked around. And then sometimes I have the kind of question say like, why socialism fell in your country? And I was like, really? Like, you're asking me that? I was born under a dictatorship. The dictatorship that you support. So let me answer this. It's your fault.
So in addition to all the questions that Daniela gets as an immigrant here, we had a big question that we had to ask between ourselves, and it was the will you marry me question. So we did. We got married. I actually proposed to Daniela like right over there on that bridge. She actually proposed to me first, and I was just proposing back. To be honest. But I digress. When you get married, there's so many questions that come with that, like where are you going to get married, what food are you going to eat, how many people are coming, and that's a big undertaking in and of itself. But we had all these questions come up too. It's like, so what is a green card? How do we get it? How long does it take? How much does it cost? Should we get a lawyer? And so this was a whole other realm of things we had to navigate. And we finally got married, but in the process there were a lot of things that people began to ask us, more questions for Daniela. So for example, when we got married, Daniela, could you vote?
No, and I still can't, even if I really, really, really want.
So when we got married, were you not automatically a US citizen?
No, I was not, I'm not, and I don't know if I'm gonna be.
And when we got married, could you go back to Chile to visit your family?
I couldn't go, I have to wait for a while.
And, there's one more question. Oh yeah. When we got married, could you work legally in the US?
No, I couldn't, I have to wait too.
So this whole process that we went through, it took us 10 months, and we finally had a green card interview in Memphis, Tennessee, where we went to profess our love to a bureaucratic worker of the US government.
And I'm never gonna forget that day. My family went all the way from Chile here, and then coincidentally my cousin from Norway was here too. So that day my family went to the zoo, and we went to the immigration offices. It's kind of feel like a zoo too, but in another way. So we were there sitting in front of this lady, with your best clothes, your best smile, your hair, Paul was like, short hair, and all of that. And we were there, like smiling, and someone told us that it's gonna be 15 minutes. It's just fast interview. 45 minutes later, we're still sitting there. And in a moment, you have to tell your story, of course, with details, like the details are the best thing here. We have to show our pictures. Picture with family, picture with friends, picture with a little treasure, Yossi. And I remember that moment. I was showing this picture with my niece, and I had to explain to her who was here. In that precise moment, I felt a little dirty, that I had to explain myself to another. I was feeling that my soul, I was like, she took a little bit of my soul.
But Daniela was finally awarded the green card, and it was a huge relief. It was kind of like for that 10-month process leading up to getting the green card, it was like that moment I was just sitting on our suitcases, like, is everything okay? Like, do we have to go back to Chile now? Like, what's next? And we finally had peace getting that green card. And so we went through this process, and it was probably the easiest, most direct path to becoming a legal permanent resident in the US. But it was one of the hardest things that we'd ever done in our relationship together.
I still have to answer some questions, and I want to be honest with you. I want to answer your questions. I believe in change. I believe that we can change the situation, and I believe in dialogue. And sometimes, for start a dialogue, you need a questions, or more than one you need. So, if you have any question, please just let me know. I will be here for answer.